All right. Let's see. I don't know. I think I'll start to get going. All right, so a few people just popped in. So again, my name is Kristen Lathrop. I'm the Director of Admission here at Proctor Academy. We're thrilled to have you on the first of our virtual events for this new enrollment cycle. I do want to mention that this is being recorded. We will post it on our website probably by tomorrow. So that you can go back and look at it again, or other families can look at it at their convenience. So we appreciate you all being here. We're really excited to kick off our season, our new enrollment cycle. It feels pretty early, but it's October 1st. So what we have in store tonight is that we're going to have a quick slideshow here to give you just an overview of Proctor. Tonight is all about just giving you a sense of, all the different programs we have here at Proctor, what kids like to do, what their classes look like, what the day looks like. And then we're going to shift it over and have a question and answer for all of you. And hopefully you have brought some questions for our student panel here tonight. So I'm going to do this slideshow, help you get the juices going for maybe some questions. So give me a moment here and I'm going to share my screen. All right. Okay, so thank you again for joining us, Proctor Academy. I want to give you a sense of where we are located. For some of you may not know, we are in Andover, New Hampshire. This is a nice overview of our campus and our fields. We're kind of like a little village in this, nestled in this mountainous valley, the Blackwater River Valley. Surrounded by mountains and streams and ponds, pretty beautiful area. We are located just about an hour and a half north of Boston. Says 2 hours, but that's only if you hit really bad traffic. It's actually only an hour and a half. And you can see that point on the map. And what I'd like to talk about is sort of the whole Proctor experience. So, we are a boarding school, but it's all of life when the students are living here. So we'll talk about classes and what they do for sports and activities and clubs and arts, and then living on campus, and maybe there's some day students out there too. So we'll try to cover all of that. So what we like to talk about is that when you live here at Proctor, you have a ton of people supporting you. So my clever colleague, shout out to Chris Allen, says there are plenty of spokes or folks to support you here at Proctor. So you can see that you, student, are in the center, and you're going to have the support of your family, your advisor, teachers, dorm parents, maybe the international student advisor. You have a residential life team, you have a dean's team, college counseling, student wellness, athletic coaches, and we're probably forgetting someone, but mentors. I know some of our students are mentors. So lots of people here to support our students and help them grow. Sorry, just gotta get my screen clear there. So what is unique about Proctor? It's actually sort of hard to describe in some ways, but we break it down into these 3 different aspects. So we really believe in supporting students and meeting students where they are. And so that's where we get the culture of individualized learning that you can find through our curriculum, both classes and sort of everything that we do. We're meeting students where they are, and we're providing rigor and support at the same time. And then we also really believe in helping students expand their identity. So we're giving them tons and tons of different options of classes and activities, sports, and we're really hoping that they're gonna try some new things while they're here and maybe realize that they have some different passions. And then we really believe in experiential learning. We want students to get their hands dirty both in the classroom and then also in our off-campus programs. We believe that really experiencing life and learning through doing and making things relevant is much more powerful than, you know, a lot of worksheets. So we're trying to get kids engaged. So those are the three aspects. And now I am going to talk a little bit about each of those things just to give you a sense. So academics, we have, like I said, tons and tons of courses, so over 130, and I'll get into that. Our student to teacher ratio is around 5 to 1. Just want to give you a little bit of sense of what classes you might take. So we have a lot of ninth graders who are applying and definitely a lot of 10th graders too. So we just show you an example of what you might take in ninth and 10th grade. Those two grades are pretty set. Your curriculum's pretty set with some options of arts and music, but once you're in 11th and 12th grade, it really opens up, and some of our students may be able to talk about that tonight. So I will show you that in a minute, but I also want to give you a sense of sort of like, whoa, look at that week. This is a lot of words, but you have about 5 classes a day. You're going to be really busy throughout the day with class starting around 8:15, ending around 3:10. And you've got your sports and activities in the evening. We do have class on Saturday mornings, so that's a little different, but you guys can ask about their schedule and how all this goes for them. And then I was talking about sort of 11th and 12th grade, you have a lot of choice here. So electives, I just wrote out a few of my favorites and try to give you an idea, but you have so many choices. So it's a great question for our students. Find something that you're excited about. You know, you don't have to learn physics if you don't want to. You could learn about conservation ecology or neuroscience instead. Just so many different choices. And then the rigor and support is also part of our integrated academic support model, which is we call learning skills, and we have 3 different levels of learning skills where students are learning strategies to be their best learners and their best selves and to push themselves. Students in these programs, in the more comprehensive programs, will have learning difference. Diagnosis, and then in learning lab, you know, it's focusing more on executive functioning and study habits. But about a third of our campus, you see 37% of our campus uses this integrated support in some way in their time at Proctor. And the goal is to work their way out of it and become independent learners as they get into college. And I know some of our panelists use this program, so that's another question you could ask if you wanted. I like this slide. What does a Proctor graduate look like? We are trying to help students become collaborative, ethical, resilient, creative, knowledgeable, productive, problem solving, and taking responsibility for personal growth. That's Will Lunder, one of our speaker from last year. But we're trying to, you know, help students become productive humans and good people and ready for life and all the challenges life brings. And then I'm going to shift into just talking about our arts a bit, because we have a vast array of arts and electives here. So visual arts, industrial, performing arts, and technology. So just a few photos here and examples to show you. Sorry, I'm trying to shift there we go. I'm trying to let you see, not have us in the way there. Painting, ceramics, textile, photography, recycled art, 3D design, digital art, game design, so many different things. It's really fun. And you always have art in your schedule, even with your 5 core classes. Some performing arts, some options, theater tech, music, vocal, audio recording, improv. Here's a photo of our recording studio and the Wilkins Meeting House, where we have our performing arts and also our all-school assemblies. And shifting into the afternoon programming, we offer team sports, outdoor sports, and then arts and performance. So just to give you a sense of what those look like, these are some of our fall sports, winter hockey. Here's a list. We have a very big list. Sorry, trying to get our faces out of the way there. but kind of all the team sports you might expect, plus crew and skiing and mountain biking, tennis, track, so many things. And then we have outdoor sports. So you see a few photos here, skiing again, mountain biking, kayaking, we have rock climbing, we have woods team, snowboarding, Nordic skiing, some big mountain bike race. The arts and performance is also an afternoon activity option. So we have theater, we have the musical and plays, and then we have the vocal and instrumental ensembles and band recording. And then just showing you a few photos of our facilities. So the Farrell Fieldhouse right here is our basketball court, also has a turf strip where you can do a lot of working out. And then we've got a little photo of the gym and again of the agility and turf strip space. It's a beautiful building. We have our Farrell Field complex where we have 2 turf fields as well as a softball field. Lacrosse, football, soccer, and softball are all in that area. We additionally have baseball and more soccer fields, grass as well. We own our own ski area. We own and operate it. So this is the Proctor ski area, mainly for racing. And then we also have a little park there for our freestyle skiers and snowboarders. It's a gem of a place. So if you're a racer, this is an amazing opportunity and privilege to be able to ski here day in and day out. We make the snow and groom it, our guys do, so it's pretty awesome. Mountain biking's big, and we own 2,500 acres, which is pretty massive when you think about it. And so we have tons of trails, and this is a little map that you can see all around campus, running, hiking, biking, maybe skiing even if you wanted. And we use it for class as well. Here's our outdoor center. So this serves our skiing, biking, all sorts of biking crew, kayaking, rock climbing. I'm probably forgetting one, but all of those outdoor sports. We've got an awesome athletic training crew. That's Kelly. She helps out anyone who's hurt and her team. And then possibly last but not least, our off-campus programs. So these are really unique to Proctor. You may or may not have heard about them, but these were founded in the 1970s, the first ones. So, you know, over 50 years of believing in the power of students getting out in the world and experiencing life, and in some cases, trying some very new things, sailing a ship here in Ocean Classroom or learning a language overseas. So I will show you a few photos of those. We have Proctor in Segovia, Spain. This meets fall, winter, and spring term. It's around 10 students, and we have 2 Proctor teachers who are overseas with them. They live in homestays. So they're with families, and then they go to class with their Proctor peers. They get to do traveling and cultural experiences all over Spain and do travel on some weekends and some trips. I know some of our students on this panel have gone on this one, so you could ask about that. Ocean Classroom is they're learning to sail a 130-foot schooner. You should definitely ask about this. I think we have some students who went on that one. They are gone in the fall term, and they spend about a month out at sea on the eastern seaboard, and they're also doing class and research. They are doing marine biology and oceanography with the Woods Hole SEA Institute, so it's pretty awesome science work there. Mountain Classroom, you can see this is Deb, the bus, and the trailer that they drive across the United States, the South and the West usually, and they are, you can see kayaking, canoeing, rock climbing, camping, backpacking, and learning about all the different places they've gone. So it's very much place-based learning. They learn about the economy, the history, the environment, the people. Pretty amazing opportunity. I should note that on mountain and ocean, there's no technology. So it's pretty awesome. I think the students appreciate that after they get out there. And then European art classrooms. So this one is based in France, in the south of France. 8 students are living with 2 Proctor art teachers, and they are immersed in art. So drawing and painting and traveling around Europe to learn more about architecture, art history, different mediums, and learning the language, French. And then if they visit some other countries, they usually learn some of those languages too. It's a pretty amazing program. And then Proctor in Monteverde is the last of our off-campus programs. And this one's so in Costa Rica, and it's offered winter and spring terms. This one is offered for sophomores, and I forgot to say that all the other ones are offered for juniors and seniors only. And they're all 1 term long. So we operate on trimesters, so fall, winter, spring. Again, this is a homestay opportunity. This is 6 students in Costa Rica for that term. They're going to class, they're learning Spanish, they're living with these families and doing activities that are cultural to Costa Rica. So let's see. Oh yeah, a little bit more. So student life. Always a question, of course, when you're thinking about boarding school. Well, what do you do on the weekends? And like, what is social life like? And that's a great question for our students on the panel. This is one of our favorite weekends where we compete against our biggest rival, Holderness. So the whole school competes against them. It's really fun. A lot of school pride. That was a cold day. We also have clubs. So if you have some passions, things you want to keep going from home, you want to bring them to Proctor. We're always excited when students start clubs here. There's some that have been going forever, but some examples this year, we have the Fishing Club, Students of Color Association, Wellness Club, current events, Proctor Broadcasting Network, Green Key for admissions, giving tours. We've got the Asian Infinity Group, Reading Buddies over at our local elementary school. We have the Proctor Environmental Action Group. So just tons. I'm probably forgetting some. Student government, I forgot to say that. So, and then these are some fun posters. These are actually real posters. So every weekend we create this poster to show what's happening. And you'll see that we try to have a variety of options for students. So Friday night, there's oftentimes games to watch. You get to watch your friends, maybe a movie. They have a shortened study hall on Friday night before they have class on Saturday morning. And then Saturday evening and afternoon, probably more games. And then in the evening, there's just tons of different things, whether it's like outdoors options, movies, going out to dinner, go paintballing, go shopping, watch sports, lots of things. And then same for Sunday. So there's always options, and you don't have to do any of them. You can pick and choose, and you can just hang with your friends. But we try to allow for students to get off campus if they want to, or just have a down weekend. All right, so now we're on to the more fun part, which is where we get to meet the students. So Ian, hopefully you can pop on and speak up. Let's see if it works.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. My name's Ian Rosenshine. I am a 4-year senior here at Proctor. I am from New York City, and I used to go to the Windward School on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. Activities I participate in, I do mountain biking in the fall, play varsity basketball in the winter, and then varsity baseball in the spring. I am one of the head mentors currently at Proctor for new and incoming students. And yeah, that's one of the clubs I participate in. And then this past fall, I participated in Ocean Classroom. And this past summer, I was a water ski counselor at a sleepaway camp. And yeah.
Thank you. All right, who's up? Paige.
Hi everyone, I'm Paige McKechnie and I'm a day student. I live about 10 minutes away right here in Andover. I play soccer. I'm the biggest fan of JV girls hockey you'll ever meet. I also do the musical, and I went off campus as well last fall. I went on Ocean Classroom and I miss it every day. I also participated in the Rosebud service trip. We went down to South Dakota and we were in indigenous communities helping out there. I'm also the student leader at Proctor.
Next, Bella.
Hi, I'm Bella. I'm a four-year senior from Hingham, Massachusetts. I participate in girls varsity soccer and girls varsity tennis. I'm also one of the head mentors for the mentor program. I went to Costa Rica my sophomore winter, and I'm going on European art classroom this next upcoming winter as well.
Wonderful. Thank you. Next student, Reese.
Hi everybody, I'm Reese Malou. I live in Edwards, Colorado, kind of around the Vail area. I went to public school before coming to Proctor. Some of the activities that I do here at Proctor is I play varsity field hockey, varsity lacrosse, and I spent 1 year on the varsity ski team. But I went abroad my sophomore winter to Costa Rica and then my junior winter to Spain. And I am a dorm pod leader on campus and a green key leader.
Thank you. Next, we have Kyle.
Hi everyone, I'm Kyle Sweet. This is my second year. I'm a sophomore. I'm from Newton, Mass. My previous school was Carroll School. And some activities I do on campus are I'm a football manager, play JV hockey, and I play varsity lacrosse. And I'm also a mentor.
Thank you. Elena.
Hi everyone, my name is Jelena Shubasic. This is my second year at Proctor. I came in as a junior. I'm from Serbia and I previously went to high school in Serbia. Some of the activities that I'm doing are varsity basketball, varsity tennis. I played cross country last year. I have not still went to an off-campus program, but I am going off in spring this year on Spain. So
And last but not least is Joe.
Hi everyone, I'm Joe Nealon. I've been at Proctor for 2 years and I'm a sophomore. I'm from Charlestown, Massachusetts, and I went to public school before I came to Proctor. Some activities I do is I play hockey and baseball. I'm also a mentor, and I was a camp counselor this summer.
Thank you. Wonderful. All right, so I think I'm going to try to stop sharing my screen right now and see if I can pull up the chat. So this is when we hope that you folks out there in the audience will have some questions for us, and you can write them in the chat. Probably the easiest way to get going here. And I'm seeing great. I'm seeing some questions pop in. So I'm going to do my best here while we're talking to sort through them and try to get everything. Let's get some. All right. So some quick and easier questions. I think I'll direct us to Paige. What is a Green Key leader? And then what is the percentage of day students at Proctor?
So a Green Key leader is we're kind of working with admissions. We do tours. So you'll come in for a tour at Proctor. You might have one of us as your tour guides. We also assign tours to other students, so kind of running that. And the percentage of day students, there's about 30 day students and 70 boarders, which can kind of seem a little overwhelming, but it's really it's a great percentage. You got a lot of friends all around you who are day students and share your roles on campus.
Yeah, how does it, I mean, you guys are allowed to be here all day, right? So how long are you here, Paige, usually?
It's really the best of both worlds. So I'll get to campus around 8:15 right before class starts. And then I can either go home after my afternoon activity about 5:30, but usually I'll stay and have dinner with my friends and then hang out on campus on the turf. And then in dorm time starts at 7:30. So after hanging out with my friends, I'll usually go home. But like on nights like tonight, I actually am going to an extra help with one of my teachers for math. So after this, I'll head over to math extra help until about 9:30, and then I'll be home at 9:30. I get to see my parents, pet my dog, have a little snack, but typically I go home around 7:30.
Great, thank you. All right, so I'm gonna try to, there's so many awesome questions coming in, so I'm gonna try to sort through these here. But so one that I think would apply to everyone, so hopefully a few of you can answer this, is just, were you nervous coming in, and what helped you make you feel comfortable here at Proctor?
I think I can answer that right away. I mean, I came from Serbia and I didn't really know what I was going into at all. And it was my first time going anywhere from my country, from my family. And the second I stepped on campus, everyone was just giving me a warm welcome and everyone wanted to meet me. And it was just everyone, like, if I had a question, like, I don't know, first day I got lost, I couldn't find my chemistry classroom. I could ask anyone on campus and everyone would help me. It's just I felt like I didn't even leave my country, and it's just you can feel the community as soon as you step on campus, without doubt.
Anyone else have anything that helped you feel comfortable when you came to Proctor?
So for me, I was very nervous coming into Proctor. I also went to the Carroll School, I forgot to mention that. And so actually coming in, I got to meet my dorm leader, which was Delaney at the time, and she was such a help navigating like living on campus versus living at home, which was something I've never done before. I never went to a sleepaway camp. I've never slept out of my bed. So that was the very first time I've ever done that. And meeting with the dorm leader really helped me like make more friends outside of my own grade. So that was a huge help.
I think for me, something that kind of stands out for my first year, I came in as a freshman. And even looking back on it 4 years later, orientation was really, really important to making friends. Even though a lot of people are kind of nervous to go off, you spend so much time with these people that by the time you get back from orientation, you start going to classes. You have like a really good foundation of a few close friends, and that was really nice to have. You can lean on them kind of going into the first few weeks.
Reese, can you just explain a little bit more about what orientation is? Because not everyone may know.
Yeah, so orientation will be kind of a week-long backpacking adventure that you'll go on with about 5 or 6 other students and then 2 faculty members on campus. And you'll go up into either like the Proctor Mountains or the White Mountains. And you kind of, when you're on orientation, you camp and you learn all about Proctor. They kind of give you the ins and outs. And everybody does it, whether you come in as a new freshman or you come in as a new junior or a new PG, a new sophomore. It's something that everybody does the first week of their time at Proctor.
Awesome. Yeah. We do that on purpose because you get a lot of bonding going on, and you make some really good friends. And then you know people by the time you're coming back, and you have to go to the dining hall, so you have some people to sit with. So, all right, I'm sorting through the next questions. How about a couple of you maybe could speak to our learning skills program? So let's see, how was the transition? Obviously everyone's coming from a different place, but maybe what are some things about that learning skills program that have been beneficial for you in a transition from middle school to Proctor?
Yeah, so coming from Proctor, coming from Carroll and going into learning skills, I found it really helpful to have just a 2-on-1 with a teacher and having that designated time to do extra homework or have them review an essay or any piece of homework that I had.
Yeah, I'm also in the learning skills program. I'm currently in LSI, so I only go about half the time. But coming in from middle school and jumping into learning skills program, I actually had learning skills in my very first block, my freshman year. So my learning skills person helped point me my way to all my classes because that's what I was most nervous about because I did not want to get lost like Elena did. So I chose to ask my learning skills person. And my learning skills person name's Joan Saunders, and she's just the nicest human being alive. these people truly become more than just your learning skills person. They become like another person at Proctor for you to talk to see her on campus, and just to help you out. She helps me with more than just my reading and my reading over essays. I talk to her about everything, and I think that's one of like the coolest things about Proctor is that a lot of the teachers here, they're more than just what they were assigned to teach you or what they were assigned to coach you in. They will help you in many different areas, and many people will stick with you a lot longer than just your time at Proctor.
Awesome. Thank you guys. So I'm going to answer a couple really quick questions. Classes, there's a question about how long they are. They're 1 hour and they meet 3 times a week. And someone asked about when they begin and end. So it goes from around 8:15 to around 3. But we also have a mid-morning break with all school assembly or advisory, and then we also have lunch. So it's there's some nice like walking time and breaks in between those 5 classes each day. And then we also have some quick questions about people coming from California. Yes, a lot of folks from California, Colorado, really all across the US and then also the world, as you see with Yelena. And then one other quick question that I can answer is just we do have a foreign language requirement. And I know that makes some students nervous. So I don't know if there was anyone out there that would want to speak about having to take a language when maybe you came in with a waiver. And then my next question is about advisory. So if folks, other students think about advisory. But a waiver, language waiver, doing a Proctor language, what do you guys think?
So I had a language waiver and they did not let me use it, so I decided to take Mandarin my freshman year, which was a lot of fun. I loved the teacher, but after applying to Costa Rica, I realized that I needed to switch my language from Mandarin to Spanish, or I would be very lost in Costa Rica. So I went and I took Spanish for 1 term, but then I went to Costa Rica and then I finished my credits for Spanish, and it was honestly super easy. And the teachers really want you to succeed in their class, so they will stay with you after class to make sure you understand information, and they'll give you ideas and ways that you can help yourself, give you different programs so you never feel lost in the class, and there's extra helps that you can attend. So yeah.
Great, thank you. All right, so a good question about advisory, because we didn't really touch on that. So does anyone want to chat about how advisory works here? Who's your advisor? Is it a group?
Yeah, I can talk about this. Your advisory, so your advisor is made up of a faculty member, and then there's about 5 to 10 other students, and that advisor really becomes your second family while you're at Proctor. It's such a good place to go. We had advisory today. Usually we meet in, my advisor has a dorm on campus, her apartment on campus. So we usually go to her apartment and she makes us breakfast. We pet her dog. We just talk about life on campus and how it's going for us. And it's just such a good place to go. It's one of the things I look forward to most at Proctor. And your advisor is also your biggest support person on campus. If you have any questions, you can reach out to them at any time. They're your advocate on campus. They'll talk to teachers for you, whatever you need. They're kind of just your point person on campus who is always going to support you, whatever your needs are.
Yeah. So here's a good question about sports and JV teams and cuts. Like, how does it work? Varsity, JV, all of that. Anyone want to jump in?
So like varsity team has cuts and some JV teams have cuts, but there's like everything you like sign up for, you can play. If you want to play like JV soccer or like varsity soccer, you get cut from varsity, you play JV. But if you get cut, like if you never tried it before and you get there's like tryouts for JV, and then if you like get cut from that, you never really played it before. Like I played last year on JV2. So if you get cut from JV1, you play on JV2, and it was like the best group of kids and had the most fun, and the coaches are great. And now I'm doing it again this year, and I'm just having so much fun with it. You can really do whatever you want, but there's no real cuts. Everything is just, if you want to play, you can play.
Yeah, so I think soccer is probably one of our most popular sports. So there are 3 teams, so that's where, you know, the beginners have a place. But all the teams have JV, and you can play on that JV even if you're learning for the first time. I think probably everyone would agree on that. And then there's another question sort of about how do you incorporate arts into your life here if you're a 3-sport athlete or you're playing sports in all those afternoon time sessions? When does art fit in?
So art will be built into your schedule. And so will like afternoon activities. So you have time blocks every day where it's like art will be like one of your classes and you'll go to that space and do that artwork during a class block. And then in the afternoon at 3:10 classes will end and you'll head over to sports around 3:30. And then when it comes to like clubs, we have club times on Thursdays, so you can participate in clubs and also have an afternoon activity. So you don't have to kind of like pick one or the other. You can be involved with both while being on campus because they're kind of incorporated into your schedule.
Yeah. Anyone, anything to add on that? What are some of your favorite arts that you guys have done? Does anyone want to say that?
So I'm currently doing woodworking and boat building at Proctor. So I'm currently building a tandem kayak in the boat shop. It's probably my favorite arts class I've taken so far. But I've also taken metal shop, which is downstairs in the same building. And my advisor is also the works in Slocum, so he does painting, that sort of stuff, and he also does the forge, so heating up metal and all that cool stuff. So I've been like around the arts a lot at Proctor, and it's just all of the teachers are just the most amazing people ever. And the arts program is just so absolutely incredible. Every arts class I've taken, it's just been so much fun, so much learning. And I got to make a pepper grinder in my metal shop class that my parents still use today. I made a bookshelf in woodworking that is now in my living room underneath my TV at home. And yeah, like I said, I'm currently making a boat. So it really is anything you want to make. You can walk in there, take a class just so you understand, and then be like, hey, I want to build this. And they'll be like, we got you. Like, let's get this started. I've seen kids build big go-karts downstairs in metal shop. A kid built a motorcycle about 2 years ago, and it's just, you can really do whatever you want. The teachers want to help you get your dreams like done. They want to help you do it, and it's just so much fun.
Thank you for sharing that. So here's another really fun question for you guys. What are some of your favorite school events or traditions?
I've only been here for 2 years, but last year, my favorite school tradition was Holderness Day, and the whole school goes and every team plays every other team, and you spend the whole week or like whatever you're doing in art class or in freshman seminar last year, we built like flags and stuff to wave around during the game, and they'll have holders of the spirit or something like that,
Yeah.
and who will lead like the chants and stuff like that. But it was great. It was a great atmosphere and just fun time.
Yep. Good school pride there. How about any other traditions?
Yeah, totally. One of my favorite traditions is the when the ski hill opens up in the winter, and like so many people show up to the ski hill, like all of Andover shows up. So you get people from like all around. Everyone's at the ski hill. There's a bonfire, so even people who aren't skiing are having burgers, sitting at the fire, and it's such a fun time to like be skiing and be at the ski hill, and it's just everyone's together, and it's just a really, really fun time over there. And it's also when we do the torch light, so we light torches and we ski down the hill. And it's just so much fun to see the whole community there, and it's just an amazing time.
Thanks. Has anyone done polar plunge yet?
I did.
Yeah, I did a bunch of, oh, you can go.
Sorry.
I'll be really quick. I did it my freshman year with a group of day students, and we all went out to why am I blanking on the name of the pond? But it was Elbow Pond, and it was freezing cold, but there was a sauna that we got to go warm up in before we jumped in the pond, and we would just go back and forth jumping into the pond and then back to the sauna, then back into the pond. It was a lot of fun.
Kyle, were you gonna say something, or was that Joe?
No, she said it all.
Okay. Yeah, polar plunge. It's a bucket list item. Sounds like we need some more people, especially these seniors, to try it this year. Any other events or traditions that folks think of? I'm thinking of like end of term musical performances and theater and the play. Paige done those.
Yeah, I'm in the musical and plays. Usually once a year I'll pop into a musical, and that's really fun. We kind of just rehearse all term long, and then everyone gets super excited to go see the theater, see how it's going, and it's always such a blast, and everyone's so excited to go support and see what's new. There's also concerts, so people who have been practicing with our singer director. They've been working on a concert that they put on at the end of the year, which is combined with the art show. So that happens at the end of every term, and that's always something that everyone gets really excited for.
Thank you. All right, so here's, I've seen this question a few different times. So the question is about cell phone use and policies and sort of what the school culture is around phones and social media. So who wants to take a stab at that?
I can, oh, go ahead.
So within like my past 4 years here, there's kind of been a variation of things that kind of go on. For a lot of in-class scenarios, as a freshman and a sophomore, they have like the wall phone sleeves. I think everybody knows what I'm talking about. That they kind of request that you put your phones in there. For some classes, it's definitely a little bit more strict than others. Once you start getting into your junior and senior year, teachers are kind of more reliant on that you won't be on your phone in class. And in my experience as a junior and a senior, like especially senior year, people are very engaged in their courses, so they're not on their phone during class. And then in the meeting house during our assemblies, that's a really important one because we've kind of banned phone use within that area because that's when our entire school meets together about 3 times a week, and you just want to like talk to the people around you. So there will be teachers that are or like telling you not to be on your phone. It's just kind of to be social and be present in the moment. And then I think with some of our other buildings, it's a little bit more difficult to enforce. But I do believe that most of our students are very engaged and present with most of the activities that we have going on. Like in the dining hall, we often have students kind of sitting around and talking to each other and not always looking down at their phones.
Does anyone have anything to add? I know the student leaders and mentors, you guys have probably talked about and thought about this quite a bit this year with culture setting.
Yeah, we talked about this a lot. As I said, I'm the student leader, and this was kind of something that we touched on earlier in the year. We had a leadership camp right before school started, talking about how we want to set the tone for this year. And a lot about what we talked about was just leading by example, just really making sure that when we as leaders are in community spaces, we're showing that we're really engaged in what's going on around us, and we don't have our phone out, and we're involving others. And I think that that's something that the leaders have really taken on. And in general, we talk a lot about Proctor culture and Proctor community and how amazing of a community and how engaging it is. And I think that really speaks through the technology use, because when I'm in community spaces, I see a lot of active participation. There aren't really a ton of kids on their phones. It's people drawing in other people, and it's just everyone's just so involved.
Thanks. Anyone else feel like adding anything? I think you guys did a great job.
Also, in the classes, I feel like teachers often make the class very, very fun and just eventful. Like if you're sitting there for an hour, you'll always have something to work on or something to read, something to like an activity within the class. So the class is really, really eventful. Like you will never have like just have a class not doing anything, sitting and staring at the blank wall. So usually you don't really need to look at your phone when you have so many things to do, like in class discussions with small groups in like with the whole classroom. So they are really making efforts to engage with students, talk about something other than the class like materials, but it's really, really engaging in the classroom. So there's often no need for the phone use.
Sure. Thanks.
Kristen, are we allowed to jump in as parents to make a comment?
Sure. I don't know. I can't see who's speaking. So
Oh,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. My name is Stephanie. My son Simon is currently at Cardigan and he skis, and we are going to be visiting Proctor. And we know a lot of people there, but I have to just say that one thing that has always impressed me about the community at Alpine races, the Proctor parents do not look at the results on live timing while the race is happening and their kid is on the hill. And that always impressed me because it's something I always try not to do, even though my son will ask me immediately, what did I do? I say, I don't know. Did you have fun? But I've become friends with some of the Proctor parents, and they shared with me that they discourage, and it's almost like I felt like you would get shamed if you whipped out your phone to look at results on live timing. So I just wanted to say that it's broader, right? It's kids using their phones, but it's also how we're modeling. And I thought that always left a really positive impression on me. So thank you all for that.
Definitely. Yeah, and I think you also touch on another point that is really important, which is more about the process, right? It's more about the process than the outcome. And I think that is something that Proctor really believes. So we want students to find the best fit when they go on in college. So we're not focused on those, college placement. Although I know it matters to the students, they care about where they're going, but I think that the process of learning and discovering who they are and becoming their best selves, they're going to find the right spot in the end. So we just want to support them in that. And I think it's true also in sports, right? Like you're working your hardest, you're doing your best, you're not always going to win, but if you're having a good time and working together, then there's so much benefit to all of that and those life lessons. So thanks for sharing that. So we have about 10 minutes left, and I see a couple questions about dorm life. So I think this would probably be a good one to touch on, as many of you are residential students, and also about like roommates. Like, how do you get matched, in that first year, and how does it go? What's dorm life like?
I could talk a lot about dorm life because I've been living on campus this is going on my 4th year. And I have had a few roommates, mostly just because moving around and like being off campus and everything. Me and Bella lived together for a little bit. So it's really fun. And I honestly think no matter who you get matched with, it's a learning experience. Your freshman year, you like fill out a form, and our admissions team works really hard to match 2 people together that work really well. And I would say a lot of the time that does work out. The roommate that I have right now, I love her. She's probably my best friend on campus. But not only that, some of my best friends live in my dorm. On my first floor, it's like I have people to turn to if I need help with homework. I have people to turn to if I just want to talk about stuff. And kind of living in a dorm is just having like a big family right there. And it's so much fun having in my dorm, we have 2 dorm parents, which are faculty members that live in the dorm with us as well. And they switch on and off of who's on duty. And I've created such a great bond while living with them. You can just sit in the common room and talk to them. They make us food. I just think dorm life is probably one of the best things we have here at Proctor, and I've loved every second of living here. So
Me and Kyle would like to answer this question too. So I've been with my roommate for the past 2 years, and they matched us up really well. And I've had the best dorm life. Last year I had Brian Didier, who's a history teacher, and he's one of the like greatest dorm parents I could probably ask for. He would take us on trips, and also there's like surrogates that will take you on trips and stuff like that with your dorm. And I had a bunch of good kids in my dorm last year, and then we have a dorm lottery next year. So like they pick like names out of like pick your roommate, you and your roommate, or just your name, and you go into like a room and pick your dorm and pick your dorm room, and usually you pick it off whoever was in it or how nice it is or stuff like that. What have you heard about it? And yeah, I think that's just it. Kyle, what you gonna say?
And if if anything doesn't work out with your roommate the first year, you can always change. You just have to speak up. And then you can visit other dorms. There's slots built into the week. Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, you can go into your friends' dorms and hang out with them there.
Thanks. That was actually a question from someone, so that's perfect. So how about leadership opportunities? I'm seeing some questions around that, and I know some of you guys are leaders on campus. What does that look like?
So we have this new thing this year. I think Paige touched on it a little bit, but it's our leadership camp. And within that, we have like day student leaders, dorm leaders, mentors, and a few other leadership groups within there. We also have Green Key leadership, which we talked about a little bit, which is kind of working with our admissions team. Personally, I'm a dorm pod leader, which just kind of means I help within the dorms, even if I don't live there. And something else that I do is help pick like dorm leaders within the dorm. So we pick about 2 students that live in the dorm. So you don't have to have like a big title to have a leadership role either. You can just be like a dorm leader, which kind of means you have a little bit more responsibility in the dorm. So there's kind of opportunities all around for like to get involved with leadership on campus.
Yeah, and Paige mentioned she's the student body leader, so we have class representatives as well for those age groups. And then there's captains, right? Mentors. All right, so let's see, just a few minutes left, and I thought it might be beneficial for everyone in the audience to hear maybe a piece of advice from our panelists about sort of the application process and picking schools, because we know you guys are at the beginning of this. So I don't know if we're gonna have 7 different pieces of advice, but panelists pipe in with some thoughts for these guys if you have some.
So for me, when I was applying to schools, my interview was with Chris Bartlett, who used to be in Kristen's role as the head of admissions, and he told me to pick a school based off who I want to become, not who I am right now, which has really stuck with me throughout those last 4 years. And looking at colleges, I've really thought about that. And outside of school in general, I've really thought about like where I'm gonna go, like who I want to become as a person. So that's my piece of advice.
My piece of advice would just be to pick the one that you feel most connected to, and just come in with an open mind.
I'd say my biggest piece of advice for when you finally arrive at your school in next year, whenever you do, is like, yeah, it's gonna be really scary probably, especially if you go to a boarding school. It's gonna be like a little nerve-wracking when you first get there and you're away from your parents for the very first time. I think the biggest thing to do is take a deep breath. And like what I did is I repeated to myself always is like, you're not the first kid to do this. You're not the first student to do this. This school has done this for so many kids all over the world. You're gonna be okay. It's like the school knows what they're doing. Like I think the biggest thing for me was like knowing like the school knows what they're doing. The school's not gonna leave you behind. Your school's not gonna forget about you. And if you just need help, the school's always gonna be there for you. And I think just reminding yourself of that as much as you can when you finally arrive your freshman year of high school is really, really helpful.
I think that mine is a little bit going off of Ian's for sure, but there's really nothing to be nervous about. Like this whole process is really nerve-wracking. We went through it, we know, and we're also going through the college process right now, so we have that feeling. But there's really nothing to be nervous about because no matter what on campus, like you'll find your people and you'll find your place. And like at Proctor, we have so many different groups and so many different friend groups, and there's so much going on here that like you'll never really be left behind. And it also like it goes so fast, so like take a second and really kind of soak it all in, because once you get here, it goes by fast. So
Thank you all. I'm trying to answer a few questions in the chat that are sort of quick answers for you. So if you asked one and it didn't get answered, we will try to answer them Anything else out there? Let's see, I'm gonna look at the last questions here. Let's see if I missed any big ones. I think we talked about most. Anything else you guys want to add, panelists? Appreciate your time.
Well, I would say, just going off what Reese and Ian said, when you come here, don't be afraid to say hi and just introduce yourself, because there's so many people on campus. I mean, same for Proctor, obviously. You guys already know how it is in your high schools, but Proctor is especially like, it's a perfect place for you to just be yourself, say hi, just enjoy, and just like Teresa said, soak up everything that you have, like all the opportunities that Proctor is offering. It's just an incredible experience, and so many ways you can try other things. You don't have to stick with what you're already doing. You can try so many things, go and visit so many things, so many activities. So just don't be afraid to take the opportunity that is given to you. So yeah, that's probably my best thing.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, panelists. And we really hope, to the audience, we hope that you'll come visit us. Hopefully we convince you that you should come visit Proctor. You can see how awesome these panelists are here on screen, but it's even better when you come in person and get a real sense of the school. As they talked about, you want to find the right fit. You want to feel like it's the kind of like a home, right? Home away from home. So we encourage you guys to check it out, come back. And we do have more virtual events. As you probably know, you'll continue to get our emails. So we have another one next week, and we have about 6 planned out, and we'll have different panelists usually each time. So you hear from lots of different voices, and they do get a bit more specific as we go. And again, like I said, they are recorded, so you can go back and find them, or if you miss one week that you wish you could catch, you can check our website and you'll find that event. So we really appreciate your time with us tonight, this hour, and it was wonderful to see those faces out there and those names, and we hope we see more of you. And thank you to our panelists. Everyone have a wonderful Tuesday night. Happy fall.